Okay, family life.
Mhm.
So working with your partner,
Yes.
my husband has like the only say he has is the final say, which is like money. Like
Okay.
how much is this going to cost me?
Right.
But you are like TP. You guys do everything together.
We do.
How does it work?
So Mark just left his corporate job a year ago. So we're only a year into the like full time, all the time. Prior to like my real estate business, I'll say like Mark has always been kind of like my business coach. Like if I'm having doubts about something, or like if I was like giving too much, I'd go and be like, this situation came up, and he'd be like, no, don't do that. Don't give away the farm. Don't give away your money. And then I'd be like, you're right. I'm not going to do that. So I've always gone to him for like business advice on the real estate side. And then like with the flips, we kind of only did them part-time. He had a really great corporate job. He was right there at stock options, like the whole 9 yards, made really killer money. So we've always kind of relied on his income as the primary income. Whatever I make is like, we can invest and do other things. And so with the flips, those were more my responsibility because he's traveling or chained to Zooms or meetings, whatever. And he has kind of always just handled more of like the financials, right? But we only did a few a year. I don't like dealing with the contractors. It's a very male dominated industry. So, it can be tough when like I know what I want. I can have a conversation with a subcontractor or contractor, and they're like, oh, sweetie, here's why, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I've done more houses than you. Like, get out of my face. Where Mark can have that same conversation, and they're just like, yep, no problem, right? So, or like, I'm a bitch and he's just a guy, right? So, what's been nice is now he does all of the financials, and he's turned it into a business. So I think that's really awesome. Prior to, because it was part-time, it was kind of more just like, he managed the spreadsheet. Are we making money? Can we afford to do this? Can we not afford to do this? That sort of thing. I've always done like the real estate side of it and the design side of it, and also dealing with the contractors, but we weren't really like a business, right? And so now that he's stepped away from work, he's got like all the right documents and contracts that tie us to the contractors in a very specific way. And so it's been pretty smooth because it's kind of the same thing we were doing, except just bigger, I guess. It did take a little bit of ironing out like whose role is whose, because sometimes I butt into things and get argumentative with him on certain things, and vice versa. He doesn't do it as much because what's he going to say about the design? But like on the real estate side of it, I have to remind him frequently, like, take a seat. I'm the expert here. I do this for a living. By the way, other investors like fully trust me. I make people lots of money. Like, go back in the office and don't tell me how to do my job. And kind of same for him. Like, there's been like things where he'll be dealing with the contractors, and then I'm like, why did you send that text message? Why? You should have done it this way. And he's like, if you want me to be the guy that deals with the contractors, like, stay in your lane, because I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to do it your way, right? So I would say in the beginning there was a little bit of like rockiness, but once we kind of were like, okay, this is my portion and this is your portion. We don't care how it gets done as long as it gets done and it's like the right thing, right? But we've always like worked across the desk from each other. So like when we first got together in 2007, I was a realtor and he was a lender. So it just worked out where like we literally had a home office. He would do, and I was also a notary. So I would like do the notary stuff for all of his refis. If he had a buyer, he would refer them to me. If I had a buyer, I would refer them to him. So we were kind of like double dipping. Like he would do the loan and I would do the real estate side. So we've kind of just always like worked that way. And even in his corporate job, we like shared a home office. We each had our own desk, but